Good morning, everyone. Today is Sunday, February 16th, and today is estimate day, or guesstimate day, or Group A, who the hell knows what they're paying day. So Group A is declaring this week on February 19th. Here is the schedule directly from the YieldMax website. You can find it under distribution schedule. I believe it's listed under education for whatever reason. But regardless of that, even though the market is closed on the Monday, we are declaring still on the Wednesday, the 19th, and then ex-dividend date will be on the 20th. And then after that, we will get paid on the 21st, which is the Friday. All right? So, big week ahead. So let's take a look at Group A and some of the weeklies and see what they're going to pay based on our guesstimate. All right, so let's go to, you know what? Let's just go right to the TSLY file real quick because TSLY's first. I just kept it simple. You know, bottom line is overall income, they didn't make money. They lost money, right? It's only because the synthetic, when they closed it out, they basically lost $312 million. But you know, we don't really count that because if we counted that, we wouldn't get paid anything. In fact, we would be paying YieldMax itself. So we will ignore these synthetic losses and only focus on what they made during the weekly trades. And so far, you know, they made $61.2 million, right? And I say so far because technically they still have Tuesday to make some additional money. Usually it's the Monday and the Tuesday, but since the market's closed, they only have one more day to make more money. So maybe this guesstimate should be even closer than usual, but who the hell knows? But regardless, they made $61.2 million, all right, in their weeklies. So, and if you share that with 100,600,000, shareholders, whatever, it comes to about 61 cents per share in income, all right? And to be honest, I think that's fair. Their last distribution was 71 cents. Okay, 61 cents. Based, you know, their IV is 51%. So some could argue 47 cents is more fair. The Rodemator goes up to 69. But I think it's TSLY, and I think they're going to pay what they made. And they made 61 cents per share based on my calculation, of course. So if we plug that in here, I got 61 cents, you know, as we zoom in. There you go. Good. So we got 61 cents per share. That would be a guesstimate yield of 66%. Again, their IV is 51, rather low, lower than usual. But why are we putting up a 66% yield? Because simply put, that's what they made. All right. If we look at the price change alone, they actually went down $1.53. They're shown to be at $12.01. So, you know, little rough patch here. And it is a 10-cent drop from the prior payment. So, you know, I'm taking that into consideration. I really don't think they're going to go down to the 50s. Hey, but you never know, man. You never know. So that's why my guesstimate is in the low 60s, 61 cents. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay. Sometimes you gotta get it right. There you go. Okay. So that's TSLY. Up next is OARK. So again, I always scroll to the right. For the ones I don't cover in detail, I have to simply use the price based on the last ex-dividend date, which in OARK's case is 10.43, and the price as of the last close, which was Friday, and the price was 11.10. So they have gone up 67 cents in price alone. However, we don't know what was realized gains and what wasn't. Their 30-day IV is 34%. But I ended up giving them a 44% yield because I wanted to give them a higher payment than the last one, especially since they had a decent month. Again, I don't know how much taxable income there was, but I'm going to give them a little boost, 38 cents. Seems a little high maybe, but hey, we'll give it to them. Their last payment was 32. Before that, it was 32. So kind of thinking in line. Should they pay 32? Probably, but again, I'll give them a little boost based on the performance that they had. Okay, up next is GUI. Keep scrolling. There's GUI. All right, so GUI for the month, they went down 77 cents. So obviously nothing to get too excited about there. Their IV is 25%. I'm going to give them a 31-cent payment, which is a 2-cent drop from the prior payment, and it comes to about a 28% yield. Again, simply put on the other ones, I feel like that's the second time I said that. I don't know why I'm saying that, but if there is no gains or negative gains, I just basically look at the IV and the last payment, and to get an idea, in case you guys were wondering. All right, Zomo, what do we got here? They paid 34 cents last time for the 4-week cycle. How'd they do? They went down 22 cents. So we go right to the IV. The IV is 20%. I'm going to give them a drop in, payment from the last one. I'm going to give them the 26-cent payment. That is a 23% yield, and it's in line with the payment prior. Payment prior was 24 cents, all right? So again, the last payment was 34. The one before that, 24 cents. So a 26-cent payment for Zomo is a 23% yield. It's raining out. Yay, yay, and yay. I'm glad I got my run in yesterday. Freezing cold. All right, up next is YBIT. They didn't really do that well either. They went down 36 cents. So I'm going to go right to their IV. Their IV is 49%. I ended up giving them a yield, though, of 56%, which is a 53-cent payment. Now, that's a letdown, though, because look at the last payment, 78 cents. The one before that, 70 cents. The one before that, $1.26. So YBIT, it looks like, continues to let down, to be honest, and have not performed as great as they should, unfortunately. So, again, YBIT, 53 cents, 56% yield. Up next is SNOY. SNOY actually did pretty good. They went up $1.31 in share. In fact, they're back up to $20 range. We always like when these funds recover back up to 20. Of course, the ones that started at 20. So I gave them a 90. Yeah, look at their IV, 65%. I don't know if they have earnings coming up, but that is a high IV. See, look at the last. They went from $1.70, and then 56 cents, and then 73 cents. So I give them 91 cents, which is a yield lesser than their IV, but it's much greater than what they've been getting paid. So this one was a tough one because, again, they did make $1.31 per share. Again, I don't know how much of that is taxable income, but maybe I should put them at least in the 60% yield mark. So if I put them at like 94 cents, is that fair? 61% yield? Maybe. Hey, I don't know. Again, this is a tough one. You guys decide. All right, who's up next? TSMY. Again, nothing too impressive on this one. They lost $1.21 per share. Their IV is 38%. Their last payment was 64 cents. So I'm going to say it's going to be a decrease down to 59 cents, and it's going to be a 41% yield. All right, up next is Crash, the inverse fund. The inverse fund did well. They actually went up 82 cents. However, they're sitting at $6.51. You have to keep that in mind. Their last payment was 28 cents. God awful. But since they made 82 cents, which is a lot for this tiny-ass fund, I'm going to give them a 41-cent payment, which is an 81% yield. Is this justified? I don't know. Again, I know these inverses pay up when they can, so I'm thinking they're going to pay up a little more than what we're used to. All right, FEAT and FIVY, of course, they're part of Group A as well. These guesstimates, I don't know, man. These are tough because I'm not going any further than what I'm doing. Let me just show you. So here's FEAT. Let me zoom out a little. So here's their holdings, right? As of 2/18, which would, I think that's Monday's or Tuesday's date, whatever. It's the holdings as of the Friday close. FEAT is the one that basically it just holds YieldMax funds. it holds the Dorsey Wright funds that are, ranked the highest, but only for the YieldMax funds available. So as you can see, they hold Coin, Meta, MSTR, Netflix, and Tesla, but they hold, the YieldMax version of those. So that being said, their IVs I put over to the right, so you could see, Coin has 64% IV, MSTR 69, lower than usual. So, and again, what you have to do to honestly track the payment on this is just see who paid. They change their holdings periodically, but see how many shares they held and then how much they paid, during that time frame. But I'm not doing that. I'm just keeping it simple. I'm taking the average IV. The average IV is 47%. All right, and then I take that and I multiply that by the current share price of 46.81, and then I divide that by 13, and I get $1.71. And then I multiply the $1.71 times 93%, because that's the percent of the YieldMax holdings to get $1.60. Again, this is always assuming they're going to yield whatever the IV is, and the average IV being 47%. But again, of course, they're holding treasuries and cash, so I'm going to go with $1.60. Probably too conservative. So you may get a higher payment. In fact, the last payment was $2.19. So some would say this is way too low. And it probably is. But what am I supposed to do? Juice this up a little more. Again, this is based on the lower volatility that I'm seeing. So it could be quite a letdown, So I'm just going to leave it. And we'll see how it goes. If I'm way off, obviously I'll adjust accordingly next time, if I remember. All right, up next is FIVY. FIVY is the one that holds the actual underlyings and the tickers. So for the most part, they actually hold Coin, Meta, MSTR, Netflix, Tesla, and then they hold the YieldMax underlying. So that being said, the YieldMax underlyings make up 54%. So this is going to be a much lesser payment. The average yield, 47%, again, multiplied by the current price, and then divide by 13, you get $1.74 payment. Take $1.74, multiply that by 54%, which is the weighting of the YieldMax holdings. Because again, holding the underlying, these underlyings don't pay a distribution. So actually, let me see, do any of these pay? Meta might, but it's really small, so it doesn't really matter. So anyway, I got 96 cents out of that, or 0.9585 to be exact, and that's a big drop from the last payment. Last payment was $1.67, so that's a 26% yield. Again, it's going to be tough to guesstimate these, but I can tell you right now, this is probably the lowest. I don't think I'm going to be higher than what they're going to pay. I think this is probably the low end of, the expectation. But now looking at FIVY, if they really have a 26% yield, this is a little less appealing to me. The last payment was around a 40% yield. So if they could stay around 40%, then maybe FEAT would be higher. I don't know. What do you guys think? Again, I'm probably way off on these. And if so, again, I'll have to just adjust, and I'll just, I'll juice up the payment based on a factor for next time. But again, these are brand new, so these are a little hard to guess. And then, of course, we go further down. We have more. This never ends. It seems it never ends. All right, so now we have YMax. So YMax, their payment is going to be based on Group D. So if I go over here, Group D, I'm showing YMax to be 19 cents, and then YMAG 13 cents. However, I take the 19 cents, I multiply that by 20%, because my payments always seem to be higher than what they actually announce. So I got 17 cents for YMax, and I got 12 cents for YMAG. All right. That being said, there's also LFGY. Now, what are they going to pay? Who in the hell knows, right? Seriously, who knows? Oh, yeah, we do have the guesstimate yield. So YMax, yeah, so it's 53% yield. YMAG, 33% yield, so kind of low there. Let's go to LFGY tab. LFGY, again, this is the one, this is the crypto one. It's pretty cool fun, to be honest. They hold a whole bunch of cryptos. I'm not going to go through them again, but you guys can see if you're watching on the video the various funds. There's so many. NVIDIA is even in there. But their average IV is 76%. So if I take that 76% and I multiply that by the price of the fund and I divide that by 52 for 52-week payments, I get 72 cents. This also seems very low because their last payment was $1.82, but it's a 76% yield. So again, was that their first payment? No. Yeah, their first payment was 74 cents, so it's kind of in line with that. Their last payment was super high, being $1.82. So this is like big fluctuations. I'm not sure people are going to be happy about this guesstimate. So I hope I'm on the low end, just like the other ones. GPTY, let's take a look at that one. Same thing, they hold a whole bunch of crap here. You guys know, a bunch of Apple, Marvel, whatever, Tesla. But they have an average yield of 45%. Based on that average yield, the guesstimate comes to 43 cents. So again, 43 cents. That's a decrease from their first payment of 62 cents. But it's a 45% yield, so that's respectable. Again, LFGY paying a 76% yield, that's pretty damn good. GPTY paying a 45% yield, that's pretty damn good. SDTY, are they going to pay this week? I don't know. I forgot to check the calendar. Maybe they're up this week. If they do pay, it could be around 11 cents. QDTY is definitely not going to pay this week because they just launched. But I'm thinking they're going to be around 15 cents when they do. All right. Actually, I should copy this and move it down. 20%. What the hell? Oh, come on, man. Never mind. Whatever. I typed that in, I guess, to... I don't know why I typed that in. Oh, wow. SDTY, 11% yield? Yeah, IV's been down, though. Implied volatility overall in the market, I've noticed, been down. So that, I guess it kind of makes sense. But, again, a little rough. Man. These guesstimates are kind of low. So it is what it is. Hopefully I'm wrong. Anyway, so if I went through the guesstimates, now I'm going to go through the recovery rates. All right, say that 5 times. So real quick, I'll start with Group A. I'll go down the line. I'll make this quick, and I'll just basically summarize it. OARK recovered 203%, SNOY 177%. Crash 286%, FEAT 20%, FIVY 16%. Everyone else was in the red. I mean, in fact, Tesla and GUI over 200% negative. So they did not have a good 4-week cycle. Group B, NVIDIA 270% recovery rate, but they were tanking for a while, so they finally came back up. Looks like they're up 224 in price. So this next distro may be decent, right? What do you think? FIVY 136% recovery rate. Babo is kicking ass, 739% recovery rate. Good Lord. Oh my God, what happened? Good earnings? I don't know. Platy, well, we knew they were kicking butt here. 867% recovery rate. And then we got JPMO, 40% recovery rate. Steady Eddie right there. GDXY, 69% recovery rate. I would say Steady Eddie, but they're in the $15 range, not ideal. And then Murney's negative, of course, because they're Murney. Marrow's negative because they've been negative. And Dips is an inverse, and of course, they're negative. Now, let's go to Group C, led by Nefli. They have a 58% recovery rate. Again, they have less time because they more, I take the last ex-dividend date. So Group C obviously has a more current ex-dividend date. AMDY, oh my God, finally, they're doing something, 55% recovery rate. CVNY didn't pay, so that's why they're blank. Fiat, 7% recovery rate. Ulti, 31% recovery rate. And then the big one here, ABNY, 577% recovery rate. So, yippee! But again, it's Airbnb. So what can you do with that? Everything else is red. Coney's barely red, but it's still red. PP and MSFO are pretty red. And then we have Group D. They just declared, but still, we'll take a look and see how they're doing so far. But SMCY, man, look at that, 153% recovery rate. That's amazing. Again, do I have the latest ex-dividend date? Yeah, 2/13. So SMCY is doing, oh man. But again, they dropped so much from launch, so people who bought at 50, if they're still holding, they're like, yeah, this is great, yay. But man, it's. I think, I don't know. I do like that fund. I really do. I don't own it, but hey, I own it through YieldMax. Does that count? Anyway, Aptly, 74% recovery. Misty, 33% recovery rate. Everyone else in Group D is in the red, unfortunately. So, and we know Group D, they just declared, right? So they got some house money numbers. I know I talked about it on the announcement video, but for those of you that don't watch that, because a lot of you probably don't, because you already know, like you know the numbers. So most people, I get it, because what's there to watch? You know, me reading the numbers that you already know. But that's why I try to cover a little additional information. So I'm assuming people do watch for that reason. But in case you missed it, Misty is now showing house money of 156%. So they paid you back more than 1.5 times the original investment had you bought this investment from day one. And that is without drip. If you run a calculator with drip, oh man, forget it. Domination. People ask me, when are you going to do how to retire on Misty? Well, here's the answer. 1 year from this date. 1 year from 2/21. Well, Friday's 2/21. It doesn't mean I'm going to do it on the Friday, but I'm going to do it at least as of that date, because my cutoff will be that Friday. I'm going to do 2/21 to 2/21. I'm going to use that data, and then I'm going to calculate, how it did. Because, there's a first version of it, of course, and, that video did well. Not as good as the YieldMax one, but I think this How to Retire on Misty is going to really, really do well. But I wanted to wait until 1 full year worth of data before we even do that. All right, let's look at other house money. Squee is at 75% house money. AMZ's at 60%. Obviously, I'm only mentioning anything above 50%. But yeah, let's go take a look at some others above 50. Ulti is 54% house money. Nefly 65%. Coney 133%. AMDY 67%. PP 54%. And again, what do we mean by house money? Basically, you got your money back, right? They paid you your money back. So now you're playing with the house's money. Anything you get from here on out. NVIDIA, 131%. FIVY, 65%. Murni, oh my God, 51%. Imagine if their underlying didn't tank, how good those payments would be. It's unfortunate, though, but hey, it is what it is. Of all the healthcare ones, well, I guess they picked the most volatile one. I don't know. What about Pfizer? I feel like they're doing, a lot better than Moderna, but I don't know. I'm not tracking them. TSLY's at 77%. TSLY and OARK, they're the first ones. They should have hit 100%, but they didn't because they've been struggling. As you know, TSLY, they reverse split, So, yeah, they did not pay out your original investment yet. They paid out 77%. Had you done drip, of course, yeah, you would have gotten your money back. I don't know, what that percentage would be, but I'm sure, based on the time period, reinvesting the TSLY over and over and over and over and over, yeah, you got your money back. But, just taking the distribution as cash, no, you do not have house money. I'm sorry. OARK, 59%. But yeah, and that's pretty much it. FEAT, 4%. Yeah. If that matters, right? All right. So what else? What else do we give a crap about? Right? What else do we want to talk about? That's the question, right? I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe, you know what? I never look at the Sparklines. Let's have some fun. Let's zoom in as far as we can. And let's just take a look. This is the 1 year and the 1 year chart. So TSLY, 1 year chart, let's see. Not good. Not good. And right next to them, you can see that they paid out $30.70 from day one. OARK, not good, heading down. GUI, not that great either. Zomo, not that great. YBIT, not that great. SNOI, pretty good. It looks like it went down, but it came back up. TSMY, overall down. Crash, look at these. Look at this inverse. What a piece of crap, to be honest. Garbage. FEAT and FIVY, oh man, these are bumpy for sure. But it looks like they'll be okay. NVIDIA, it's a kind of blah. FIVY, kind of blah. JPMO, it's trying to recover. Murni, well, what'd you expect? It's a freaking, it's a little hill going down. GDXY is kind of going down. Babo's recovering. Plady, kicking ass. Marrow's a piece of crap too, unfortunately. Dips is, of course, a piece of crap. Netflix's awesome. It goes up and down all the time, which is fine. Coney, more down than up, unfortunately. MSFO doesn't look that great. AMDY, not that great. PP, pretty bad lately. ABNY took a dive early on, it looks like. Carvana is actually solid line up. Fiat in the crapper and Ulti in the crapper. Apply, trying to be steady Eddie. AMZ's actually not too fantastic. Disso's downward. Squee, not that great. AIYY, pretty bad. Misty, trying to stay flat. SMCY, well, we know what happened there, right? Little auditor problem. YQQQ is crappy. YMax, yeah, it's kind of downward. YMax kind of downward. LFGY, they really took a dive in the beginning, it looks like. Kind of rough, but GPTY, yeah, same thing. SDTY and QDTY just came out. I like QDTY's Sparkline, but yeah, I don't know. Again, this is more just a visual, because I never really talk about the Sparkline. I don't even know why I have it on the spreadsheet, to be honest. But since it was there, I figured I'd have a little fun with you guys and just show you what the charts actually look like in the 1 year. Of course, this is based on Google, right? We use Google spreadsheets because it's free. You try to use Excel nowadays and they charge you an arm and a leg. But yeah, that's the update. I think I'll leave it at that. I'll do a quick recap and then we will end it there. Let's see. Let's go back up to the top and we will do our guesstimates. I'll zoom in though so we can see a little better. Nope. Little one got up at 2:30 today, wide awake. So yeah, needless to say, it's gonna be a long day. TSLY, they declared us. They did not declare. TSLY, my guesstimate is 61 cents. That's a 66% yield. OARK, 38 cents, 44.5% yield. GUI, 31 cents, 28% yield. Zomo, 26 cents, 23% yield. YBIT, 53 cents, 56% yield. SNOI, hello SNOI, 94 cents, 61% yield. TSMY, 59 cents, 41% yield. Crash, 41 cents, 81% yield. FEAT, smelly as feet, $1.60, 44% yield. FIVY, 95 cents, 26% yield. Moving down to the weeklies. YMax, 17 cents, 53% yield. YMAG, 12 cents, 33% yield. LFGY, 72 cents, 76% yield. GPTY, 43 cents, 45% yield. SDTY, if they pay this week, 11 cents, 11% yield. QDTY, they're not going to pay this week, but again, I'm thinking they'll be around 15 cents, 15% yield if they did, which, of course, again, they just came out, so they're not. But yeah, so that's it. That's the guesstimate video. Group A is a little busier, unfortunately, because they have FEAT and FIVY, but what can you do? And now, of course, we got the freaking weeklies, and then they're going to have RDTY, and then, like, where does this end? And now I hear Roundhill is coming out with some weeklies this week. Like, what in the hell, is going? I don't know. I don't know, man. But speaking of Round Hill, maybe we'll do a shout out again for the keyword for the king of Round Hill. So that being said, though, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, come back next week on Group B guesstimate video. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them down in the comments below, and I may answer. Maybe not. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. No, for real, I do look at all the comments, and I do try to answer if it's a quick question. I don't answer novel questions because I just don't have the time. Sorry. Very sorry. So sorry. Anyway, if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you gotta say the freaking keyword. It's freaking keyword time. What does that even mean? It means if you made it this far in the video and you want people to believe you, you have to type down in the comments the keyword, all right? The keyword today is another YouTuber who kind of started a while back, and he decided, you know what? You got YieldMax covered. I'm going to do Round Hill. So Reaching Riches has been covering Round Hill, I believe, from the beginning. And I believe, he's like one of the main guys of the Round Hill community from day one. He does estimates. He does a lot of coverage on it. And like me, he's a father who probably needs more sleep. But, hardworking dude, good dude. So he deserves a shout out today. So today's keyword, if you made it this far in the video, is Reaching Riches. I will pin to the top of the comments his YouTube channel. If you want to check him out, if you love Round Hill, you will love his channel. I'm sure he covers other things as well. And it even has like this live stream that goes on during market hours if you just want to have a live chat with him and others, which is pretty interesting. And it was, I thought, and I told him a great idea, that he thought of that. So go check out his channel and type his name down below, Reaching Riches. And that way we know you made it through this long ass guesstimate video. And you are a true trooper. So you deserve something. You got to get the credit at least, right? Anyway, guys, I'll leave it at that. I got to post this and get my ass to the gym. Diet's still standing strong. I'm loving it, feeling good. Weekends are a little harder, so I do snack a little bit. But I'm still doing much better than I was, so I need to get my ass to the gym and keep it going. Keep it going. Get the pump, all right? Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. Later.